Well, it's another Saturday, so it is time for another playbook review. We just finished going over all the Service Academy playbooks, all their fun flexbone, different pistol, different shotgun, what makes those playbooks kind of unique and fun, and why everyone I think should try the flexbone at some point in their life. But now it's time to kind of come back to reality. I can't really expect everybody to try the flexbone. It's very different, and it does have a learning curve to it, so that is what it is. Now we're gonna go look at one of my favorite formations in the entire game, mixed in with some other really fun things that we can find in the Florida State offense. So we are going to first go over box offset weak, why I think it is such a good formation. They also have another box, something halfback strong, maybe just box halfback strong. They have some heavier sets, split pro, ace, deuce, open flex. Doubles Y off has a really interesting play that I'm just more curious to see how it works than anything else. They have some very good trips, they have a lot of good spread, and they have an empty formation. A lot to like about this Florida State playbook. Let's just get right on into it. We will go skill level All-American. I have it on freshman just for when I go and get thumbnails for our campus tour videos. Anyway, All-American, we'll keep it against Miami even. Let's get to it. Florida State, let's see what they got. First thing first, let's go find this beauty of a formation. Box. It's over here somewhere. Box offset weak. Now, I personally like this one better than box halfback strong. I think the passes are much better out of here. But in box offset weak, first the runs. The run plays in this are so good. I don't know exactly what it is, maybe because of how the guys are aligned over on the left, but between inside zone, you got a read option. Again, this is why I mentioned at the beginning, why I think I mentioned, but if I didn't, why you really want a fast quarterback to be able to run this Florida State offense. And good tight end is going to help a lot too, but especially a fast quarterback, because there are a lot of QB runs, RPOs, read options, those kind of things. But just looking at the run plays first, what makes this very good? Inside zone, read option. We've also got a wide trap with that right guard now pulling. Now we have another run going to the left, but not attacking inside. This one is going outside and an outside zone. So a similar concept, but without the guard pulling. And all the runs in here, very good. very good. But not as good as potentially the best pass play in the entire game. Motion, verts, halfback, angle. So I'm going to go ahead and just call this one. We will put them in, we can put them just in a random defense because I don't think it matters all that much. We're probably going to get somebody open. Now, what I like to do out of this is we don't really want that angle route on the halfback where he kind of motions out and does an angle route from the line of scrimmage. We want him to run a Texas route from where he is at. And why we want to do that is because then, if the way the play is right now, everybody on the right is essentially going to the left. We've got no cross, no nothing. User can kind of guard both of those. But if we put him on a route like this, now the user is going to pretty much have to make a choice between that Texas route and RB, and that little mini type of wheel route that Squirrel White is on gets open against a ton of different coverages. Like just from how these guys are aligned, him sneaking behind on a little angle route, or not an angle route, a vertical route like that gets open a whole heck of a lot. So let's just give this a run. And then of course you can do things, you know, if they're backed off like this, you put a little comeback over there. Deuce Robinson, he's like 6'6", he's going to catch a comeback route. No questions asked. So we'll just go ahead and run this, see what we got. Squirrel White right away, right in that little pocket right there. It's so good. The play is just so good. So really that's what we're looking at first, is a Squirrel White on that. If he can find a little pocket on the left to get open. I don't love that we're not blocking that guy on the right. That could be a problem. Can we do like some sort of slide? Okay, perfect. That's why it's always important to check your blocking. If this was a real game, that guy on the right would be coming in free. But yeah, we're looking Squirrel White, and then kind of between Williams and Thomas. If they come out pressed, potentially you can look for one of the streaks, but really those are just kind of clearing things out over the middle here. So that time they're on Squirrel White, but then that means there's nobody left over the middle to watch that Texas route. I'm telling you, this play is so good. It's just so good. Squirrel White, bang, right in that pocket. I love this play. You could just call this pass play and the runs out of here, and you'd be totally fine. You could do that for an entire game, and I guarantee you could win. That might be a challenge we do after campus tour, is something like that. But elsewhere, we also still have some other really good pass plays. If they start keying in on that somehow and taking that away, we've got some other really good options in here. The middle, high, low, curl flat, Y cross post, the quick little out route from your outside slot, a kind of, I don't know, a crosser kind of from A. Halfback angle is going to have kind of a similar idea. to what we just saw in the verticals with the crosser and the angle route, but we don't have that streak behind it. That's what really makes that play so good. Slot trail, verticals, all these motions. I'm telling you, this formation is unbelievable. I know it's in Florida State. I know it's in Ohio State. And it's in Florida State's because they got Gus Malzahn. And this was in the UCF playbook last year, and why I loved UCF's offense so much. This formation is just fantastic. Then you can mix in some of the box halfback strong. The difference between the two is just what side your halfback is on, and it actually uses a different halfback. Let's see. So this has Cam Davis. Off week has R. Williams. Let's see what the difference between these two is. One's probably the third down back, if I had to guess. So Williams is your starting halfback. Davis is your backup. Let's look at power back and third down back. See, those must be different. Yeah, Davis is your third down back. Williams is your power back. So yeah, offset week uses your regular starting halfback versus halfback strong. Looks to use, and maybe it is, no, it wouldn't be your power back because that was the other guy. Uses your third down running back. But in here, we've got some fun little pass options as well. Things like mesh rail with that motion on B, same motion, but now a whip cross. Now, what's really good about that is if you hit them with that mesh rail a few times, they're kind of keying in a little bit on that drag X is on. Now on whip cross, looks like a drag. Whoops, it's actually a return route going back out to the left. Good way to try to catch people napping there. Sit Z drag. Now these corner routes I like a lot because they're a little bit shorter, run a little bit sharper than kind of some standard corner routes. PA scissors, a crosser on RB, a corner route over on A. B stretching the field, any deep zones or something, we'll have to go follow B. Maybe you can hit A underneath, and then a little drag coming across from X. You have an inside zone run. Now, unfortunately, that is about it out of this, though. We've only got 6 plays. You got a halfback draw and an inside zone, or your only 2 runs. That's what we like about the offset week, too, is we have a bigger variety of runs, a bigger variety of plays. That's why I think it is a little bit better. But box offset or box halfback strong still has some really good stuff, too. So having both of these, fantastic. Great start for any playbook, having these 2 formations. And now we can go back and kind of start back from the beginning. I just wanted to start with the ones I'm most comfortable with, the ones I actually know the best. I know what makes this an actually very good playbook. But now we can kind of look at some of their heavier sets. We'll work our way through the rest of their shotgun. Their pistol, I mean, you only have wing close and Y off trips. Single back, you have east. You have a little wildcat here too. You have actually quite a few wildcats. I just don't really like wildcats, so we're just going to stick in the shotgun for this one. And we'll just start right at the beginning with split pro near. So this, I believe, is your fullback. Florida State doesn't have a fullback, so it will be your backup tight end. Kind of right behind the line in between your guard and your tackle on the left there. And that actually sets up pretty nice for some blocking. I don't love it for like inside zone split. I mean, he's going off to get that right side edge defender, which maybe that can work in certain instances, but something like outside zone, I love having that guy right on the line to go immediately get some blocks and hopefully set some good things up for you. But what really is nasty in here is this RPO read F slide. And we just used something similar in a campus tour. I think Liberty has a very similar formation to this, but out of pistol. Deadly play. Deadly play with that fullback / tight end starting where he is and then going across on that read RPO. So good. And some honestly decent pass plays out of here. Corner strike, PA flood. Mainly you're going to be running out of here, though. There is another read option for your fast quarterback that you should have when we are calling this. We also have slot F wing. Not for me personally, but you have a QB power, which could be very good against certain defenses if they're overloading that left side where the 2 receivers are. You could pop a QB run out to the right. You have a toss. You have a speed option. Again, fast quarterback. That's going to be a common thing we are going to see in quite a few of these formations. In ace offset. Now, this one looks pretty fun. We've got 2 tight ends up on the line. You got 2 receivers, your halfback, and your quarterback. We got a thing you guys should know I love at this point. 3 jet motions, 3 different plays. One just an inside zone run, one you're actually doing the jet, and then one's just a play action with a deep crosser. Love that. Just because you see the jet motion, it can be a lot of different stuff, and I think there's a couple more in here too. Flanker drives, just a solid pass play, the motion down to a drag, the in, kind of make a little high-low between those two. You could do a post on A instead, the comeback on X, good, Z spot, good. There's so much good stuff in here. Dagger, drags on your tight ends and slot receivers. So hard to defend. So something like dagger, if you have a really good tight end, which is another thing that would help a lot for this playbook, that is going to be very, very difficult for anybody to stop, because no zone is going to be down far enough unless they're playing 0, maybe 5 yards. You might be able to grab a knockout or something on that. And then you also are threatening with that streak on your other tight end. O and trap, always going to be a good run play. Another read option, power O, inside zone, a Y sail out of here, which is a great flood type of play that can beat a lot of different coverages, and then some more of that orbit. And so it's not quite the jet motion, but it's close. And again, setting up different kind of things. Orbit wide receiver option, which is one I'm actually gonna look at, because it looks like it is a triple option, which would make sense, because then we have a load option on the other side too. So I just want to see if this is in fact a triple option. It should be. Okay, Deuce, a little hurry up there, buddy. It is indeed. Of course, that was the wrong read, but I wasn't pressing anything. I just wanted to see if that was, in fact, a triple option. And it is, which is awesome. It's so fun to have in something like ace offset. And then you've also just got the load option, where now that back is going to go out and turn into a blocker, try to set that edge. And then we've got the same orbit, but with a play action pass. You have an outside zone run, an RPO, and we're back to the beginning. Ace offset, I think a very, very good formation. You need 2 tight ends probably really to be able to run that one well, but still, looks awful good. And same with deuce, you would need 2 good tight ends for this, but we've got they have a few of these type of things that I really want to try. So these 3 plays, right, these all kind of tie together too, which is a great thing to have. We have the actual zone toss run, we have the fake toss, and a DIY toss reverse. Now this is the one I am curious about, and believe it or not, this is not the craziest DIY reverse we are going to cover in this Florida State playbook. So it's going to be a toss and then squirrel white coming in motion. Oh, that takes quite a while to develop here. Let's see, and then go. Because everybody's pursuing the back on the toss. When you give it to squirrel white, it's almost like you're just leading him right back into the lion's den there. He's going right where everybody's at. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Maybe if we could pair it together. I don't know. I just feel like he's getting so far outside that by the time we get it to squirrel white, unless we can hand it off and then just cut up the field immediately, which I was trying to do there, that might have potential. Okay, that time it just went backwards. I don't know about this one. It's fun. It's an interesting idea, but I just don't know how well it's actually going to work. The toss itself might be good against like a really condensed heavy defense, and then you can mix in some of the fake toss. The DIY toss reverse might just not be for me. But we do have an inside zone and another read option in here too. And we got some fun pass options in gun deuce as well. The mesh spot, always going to be good. Tight end drag is going to be very, very hard to defend. Corner goes flat, looks like a very, very weird looking play. I don't know about that one personally, but you also have O1 trap for a run, bench swap for a pass, some more of those exit RPOs, kind of like what we saw at a split pro near. Anything with that tight end going from one side to the other on an RPO, very, very good. And then we have these two, open flex and open flex weak. So these look pretty similar to our split pro near. The difference here is going to be split pro near has the tight end on the line and the guy in the backfield. This has 3 receivers and the guy in the backfield, and I believe uses your starting tight end instead of who's in your fullback spot. So in open flex, we're still going to be doing a lot of the same kind of things. These RPO outs are usually very, very good. We have the dive going right behind our tight end, dagger, and again, if you have a really good tight end, things like this RPO read Y flat, he's not crossing the line, but it's still very good. This is kind of more what I was thinking though. This double post, a wheel route on a really good tight end, if he's manned up by like a linebacker in a cover 0 or something like that, has a ton of potential to kill man coverage, as well as the crosser and the deep post. Vertical tight end out, again, can be very, very good against a lot of man coverage kind of things. Versus if they're in zone, something like dagger, where we have that tight end going on that little out route, bring the zones down. Then you have the dagger route by B, kind of going back over the top of them there. Deep out's very good. A halfback toss that looks really good out of here, because we have where that tight end is and the right guard both pulling this time, versus the toss we had in, what was that, ace, where we had nobody pulling out to the side to help out. Now we've got a couple guys going out there. We can try to go get outside, as you know, our guard is trying to lead the way. He's trying his best. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's certainly going to try. Sometimes he'll just delete people like that as well, and then just move right to the second level, which makes things a lot easier for us. But this toss I like a lot better than that one out of ace or deuce, whatever it was, because of where our tight end is and the pulling guard. It's going to make a world of a difference. Really, really like that toss as a run out of here. Then in open flex week, this is just going to have our halfback on the left side, on the opposite side of our tight end. Now we get a speed option. Again, fast quarterback. I'm not going to say it every time, but I'm going to say it a lot. Having a fast quarterback is going to make a world of difference with a team and a playbook like this. Not a team like this, because that depends on your team, but on a playbook like this. And then you've also got some really, really good run setups out of here, like power O, where our guard is actually going to be pulling to go behind that tight end and help out with the blocking. Counter Y, where our opposite side guard and that tight end are going to be going back to the right to try to set up some blocking. Off tackle, going right behind that tight end again. Like, really, this open flex I think has a ton of potential. Flood, smash halfback angle, some good RPOs, chet chip dagger. Really, really good stuff in here. Now we get to the wildest DIY reverse I have ever seen in my life, which is in Florida State's doubles Y off. Let's see where it is. Other than that, it's a fairly standard doubles. You know, you got a few more motions and things like the jet power read, jet pass power, all those kind of jet tight end mid screen. So you do have a few more jet motion plays than are in typical ones. Here we are. Motion wide receiver sweep DIY reverse. So first I'm just going to run the motion wide receiver sweep, which I don't imagine being very good anyway, but we are going to give it a shot. So let's see how this goes to old Squirrel White out here. Okay, so he actually just motions into the backfield to take a sweep. Okay, I thought maybe it was just one kind of continuous motion kind of thing turning into a toss, but he just kind of motions in, makes it a split back. And I apologize for the white that just blinded my face there watching South Florida and UTSA, and a commercial that was just all white just came on. Okay, so that's how the wide receiver sweep works. It essentially turns it into a split back. How about the wide receiver sweep DIY reverse? Let's see how this goes. We're gonna just give it every time. I just am curious. Okay. I mean, we ran a long way to get 0 yards on that, but I see more potential in this than in the other one. Because that other one, just the way he was coming across, he like got it and you had almost no choice but to go right upfield. This way, we can actually kind of come back and loop back around the left, and I kind of actually love this. I think this one is awesome. See, they all overcommit. Castellanos, nothing but a freaking traffic cone, a little speed bump in there. I like this one a lot. Oh, unless that happens. But still, the potential, I feel like, is there. I'm still not entirely sure who our actual read key is supposed to be. I think it's that end. I mean, he's the one with the read key above him. And we're just seeing if he's staying put or following Squirrel White. Is that how this works? So he's staying put. Oh my goodness. And then the other edge just comes and gets him. But yeah, so he's staying put. So we would keep that with Squirrel White. If he kind of follows us like this. Maybe not. I still think the potential is there for this play. It just is going to take them being in a very specific kind of defense. Oh, we still got that off. I was kind of surprised by that. I stopped moving. Potential's there. Has to be against something very specific. But other than that, they're doubles. Pretty standard stuff. I just had to try that. I had to see how that one worked. So yeah, if you like doubles, which I do, it's a pretty good looking little formation. I like the looks of this halfback toss fake jet as well. This would just, you couldn't do this one too often, just try to catch them off guard, but that same jet motion with 3 different plays, we always like that. Now, elsewhere in the playbook, we've also got a lot of variations of trips. Wing trio, if you want to count that, Y off trips. Now, a lot of these are going to be more standard kind of trips formations that we find in a lot of different books, but we have a halfback direct reverse, another DIY. The amount of DIY reverses in this playbook are insane. Absolutely insane. You have a regular direct snap and another DIY reverse. I got to see how this one works too. So this one would be going to Squirrel White. Yeah, see, I like this one. This one I really like. It goes quick, just bang, bang, direct, then bang, and then right up the gut, or go outside to the left. Direct snap DIY reverse. That's already, what, 3 or 4 different DIY reverses we have seen in this Florida State playbook. I'm telling you, it's fun, man. If nothing else, I think it is a ton of fun. We also have, I mean, YF Trips Week, again, pretty standard version of that. There's another DIY reverse for you. There's probably more in the other formations we haven't really even looked at yet. There's just DIYs all over the place. But we also have Trips Tight End Offset Week, which is just one of the best formations in the entire game. Between the RPOs, the vertical passing threats, things like read Y corner are going to be very good against something like mid blitz. Something like deep sail going to be very good against something like a cover 4 or cover 3 match. Something to tackle a little more vertically. We have a switch dagger under here too. Verticals with the halfback going on that out route with those vertical routes, pushing everybody downfield, sneak the halfback out. Beautiful. Good RPOs, the read bubble, inside zone, a halfback power for runs, pin alert bubble. Very, very good Trips tight end offset week that we've got here with Florida State. You also have Trips Y over. Again, more, I always like the RPO bubbles more than any other ones. I just think those work a lot better, so always love to see those. Some verticals. I'm not the biggest Trips Y over guy. I don't know. It just, the spacing seems a little off to me, so I don't like this one as much. And I want to say there's one more Trips for us to look at. Yeah, trio right open. This formation is so good. A speed option, Z under is an unbelievable pass play that kills match coverage, by the way. Corner up, potentially could, maybe not. Corner strike, always going to be good. Drive, always going to be good. Again, I like to do a post on A, just make that high-low, have a little bit more depth in between, make it a little bit harder for the user to guard both routes going over the middle. Another read option, of course. Double post, one of the best plays in the game as well. That's a few times now I've mentioned Florida State having one of the best plays in the game. Wonder why I like this playbook. All sorts of good stuff between the various options of trips that you have here with Florida State. Now we also have a spread flex. This is the only spread we have, but the motions on it are pretty wild. So we have 3 different orbit motions, and none of them really use the orbit all that much. You could throw it back to the flat on all of them, but then we also have a read option. I was kind of hoping there'd be an orbit like triple option kind of thing, but I don't believe any of those are. We also just got some good passes out of here. Pretty standard spread, but we do have a kind of, it's not the same orbit motion, but we do have that motion wide receiver option again. We also have the load option again, like we saw in that previous formation. Just a really fun wrinkle for us to have. You have X follow and inside cross, 2 very, very good pass plays, drags on your slot, little outs or ins on your halfback. Always a good combination to have. Just fun. It's fun. That one word to sum up the Florida State playbook, I do think it is fun. And then we've also got a little bit of empty to mix in here as well. Same thing we've seen across a lot of these different formations is the same motion, 3 different plays. A thing I rave about a lot and I love a lot. The jet touch pass, the play action jet sweep, and the jet power read. I just struggle to make the reads on power reads, so I don't call them a bunch, but I've seen them work. I know they can work. I just need to work on actually being able to make those reads. Then outside of that, pretty good, just regular 5 wide. The only thing kind of working against it, in my opinion, is that we don't have that the A receiver attached to the line, so we can't block him. So if they're sending 6, there's not really a ton we can do, but to answer a send 6, we'd have something like the RPO orbit QB draw screen. With that orbit motion, if they're sending 6, it's cover 0, they're all manned up. He's going to have a hard time keeping up and getting out there as long as our 3 receivers can actually hold their blocks. And we've got another QB draw RPO. So as long as you got a fast quarterback, at least 1, ideally 2 good tight ends, and a good solid halfback, I think this Florida State offense could be so much fun to run. We might have to try it out a little bit in our online dynasty, which if you've made it this far and haven't heard about it before, we do run a 32 user online dynasty on the second channel, Old Man Trying Things. We use the Old Dominion Monarchs. We just went to the Utah playbook for our last game. I think we're going to use that for a little bit. I'm a big fan of the Utah playbook, but this is one we are going to keep in mind if we can build our team up a little bit more. I think this playbook is a ton of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. We will be back next Saturday for another playbook review. Who it is yet? Haven't fully decided. We'll find out. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you then, or I'll just see you tomorrow for campus tour if you like to watch those as well. All right, guys. Until next time, take it easy.